Bayer Leverkusen currently sits sixth in the Bundesliga with 4 games left to go. They are 4 points behind a Champions League spot of VfB Stuttgart. Our aim is here to try and get them back up to Champions League for next season, but then after that, obviously rebuild them, get them another trophy, get them hopefully another Bundesliga trophy as well over Bayern Munich, and try and win the Champions League. Bayern Munich, they've been a club that's kind of always floated around 5th, 6th, top 4, top 3 in some instances. It's only as of recent, the last 2 seasons besides this one, they finished first when they went invincible in the league, and then they finished second, runners up before after Xavi Alonso left, and they brought in Eric Ten Hag as well there as well. But other than that, they floated around 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th for the last 15 or 20 years. They had a really bad season when they finished in 12th in that 16-17 season. They were runner-ups in the Champions League back in 2002 when they came second in the Champions League. They won the Europa League back in 88, I should say. And so they have European glory for the first time since then. And they haven't had any European glory, so we are trying to get that. And in fact, actually, real quick, when's the last time they won the DFB Pokal? I knew it was recently, right? Yes, 2023. I knew it was within the last 5 years. They won it in 2023 and 2024. They did just get knocked out to Bayern Munich in the DFB Pokal literally yesterday as I'm recording this, and hopefully by the time this comes out, it will be 2 days ago. So our game in playing here is with 4 games left to go. We have Leipzig, we have Stuttgart, so we actually have 2 of the top 4 teams there. We have Hamburg and Cologne. We're going to try and get to the top 4. That is the aim. Oh, I was muted during that. Well, basically what I just said is how we're going to try and get to the top 4 is just not play, but quick sim the games and pray. And well, we went ahead and won against Cologne, 85th minute winner from Teller, and a 2-1 win. And so before the game here against RB Leipzig, we are still 4 points behind Stuttgart. They are taking on Hoffenheim, so a draw there could be beneficial for both of us, in all honesty. A draw there, they go up to 60. A win here for us, again, that's if we do win, we go up to 58 with that game against Stuttgart. We could jump over both Hoffenheim and Stuttgart. And so the game here against RB Leipzig, a 1-0 win. Grimaldo is the sole goal scorer. Did they draw is a question. That's really what would matter and kind of give us the hope there. Did they draw? It looking like they actually did. They did draw. He's up to 60 points. A win here over Stuttgart, and we will go over them in the league and into the top 4 with 1 game left to go. This is a massive game coming up here against Stuttgart to try and get us up to Champions League football. Hopefully we can do it. I honestly don't think we can. I think this is about to be a draw here against Stuttgart. It is a 3-2 win. Tella, Schick, and Maza, who opened up the score in the very first minute, set the tone early, but Demerovich equalized in the 40th, and then straight off kickoff, Schick again. It's another minute after a kickoff that we score again. Nathan Tella scored in the 67th minute, which essentially won the game, with Luring scoring in the 85th, which was a consolation goal, but definitely would have put us under the pressure within the last 5 minutes left to go. But a massive win over there means we are now we are into top 4, right? I didn't do the math wrong there. Yes, we are into the top 4. We are 2 points safe from Hoffenheim. We are 1 point safe off of Stuttgart. They are taking on Frankfurt, who's sitting 7th. They're fighting for nothing. They are just currently sitting at 7th. And then we are taking on Hamburg, who is all the way in 15th and fighting relegation. And final game of the season is a draw, a 1-1 draw. Ben Shakir came on in the 46th minute, got injured in the 51st, came off in a 5-minute appearance for Ben Shakir. Stuttgart, did they win? I can only assume they won. We have bottled a top 4. No, we have not. We have not bottled top 4. Stuttgart also drew, and Hoffenheim drew as well, so they didn't even reach above us. And so we finish in the top 4, so that is a great end to the season. 3 out of 4 wins gets us the top 4, including 2 against Stuttgart and Leipzig. two massive wins against top two sides. That's actually insane that that's going to come down to that in real life as well. Well then, we have top 4 football, which means hopefully we'll have a decent chunk of money next season, and some of these guys are going to come in. Now, obviously, for what we know is that we have a couple of loan players, like Boniface. I don't think he would come back to Bayer Leverkusen, so we'll transfer list him. But if not, honestly, I'm down to keep him and use him as our main striker, because I was looking at the transfer rumors, and a lot of the players that are rumored apparently on the transfer rumor website is a bunch of strikers, so Boniface could fix that. Now, Hincape, I will sell to Arsenal, or I will just sell in the summer in general. He will not be part of the squad. We will sell him, but other than that, we have a bunch of loanees that we're going to deal with. We're going to have a bunch of deadwood to deal with, because obviously in the Bundesliga, you could have up to 99 players. So yeah, on to season 2 in our first full season proper. That was very important, though, to get us Champions League football, and I'm glad we have it. And, well, in fact, it's looking like it's taking care of that problem for me. It's looking like the obligation to buy was actually put into the game, and, well, they bought him. So that is great to see there as well. Obviously, nobody you can see here is on loan at the club at the moment, so everybody is back. 38 players. 162 million to spend on this team to try and improve on it. The question is, do I keep it as a back 3, or do I go to something else more familiar? I'm honestly tempted to go something else more familiar here. Obviously, Malik Tillman is apparently rumored to be leaving the club. A lot of players are being rumored to leave the club, so we'll kind of see what happens. Play it by ear, but what I do know is that Garcia and Palacios at the moment are kind of safe in the midfield. Poku, I'm not quite sure. Gramado, honestly, I'm not quite sure. We could change him to a CM or a Cam, and he'd probably go up a couple ratings as well. Tella, I'm not sure. Schick, he's obviously good, but he is 30 years old. Mazza is good. I believe he has decent potential. Honestly, this team is filled with a lot of players with higher potential type of talent, so I'm not quite sure what to do. What I do want to do is bring in the goalkeeper, because Flecken and Blashwich and even Loam are not going to do it. They're not going to cut it, especially long term, if this goes past 2 to 3 seasons. So that's what we're going to do. What you can see here is a bunch of players on a short list. These are all the latest rumors within the last 20 days or so that are rumored to that Bayer Leverkusen possibly want here. The interesting ones are Decat, Casado, maybe even Bakwa. Monzambi kind of seems like he's like the hottest thing on the market right now. A lot of clubs are interested in him. Stonsnich is definitely interesting. And then if we were to bring in another striker, it'd probably be Yundov, maybe even Fanhart as a young prospect as well, or even Troy Parrott, just because, well, it's Troy Parrott. In our first signing, and to be completely honest, our only signing for a while, we're going to try and figure out the squad depth and situation there. We have a couple players we transfer listed, a couple players that we loan listed, and we're just trying to kind of offload some of the wages there as well. But Robin Roof is going to come in from Sunderland. He's having a fantastic-ish season. He started off really well, though, for Sunderland, maybe falling off a little bit off the bandwagon. And apparently there's rumors that the manager might even get fired if they don't get European football, which is fucking insane if you want to ask me, because, well, they just got promoted, and it's a miracle that they're fighting for a European spot anyway. They're trying to do a Leicester City type of thing there. But Roos is going to come into the squad. He's going to be our new #1 goalkeeper. Welcome in for 28 million. The first departure is Tim Overman. He's leaving to Strasbourg for a season-long loan. And Ernest Poku leaves to Besiktas for 13 million. And Sarko is off to Rosario Central for 2 years as well on loan. Terrier leaves to Wolfsburg for 22.2 million. Josip Stanisic is going to join the squad. We have switched formations to a 4-back, and well, now he will be the main right back. We do have Brandon Vasquez from Real Madrid, obviously, at the squad now, but he's retiring at the end of the season, and he's going to deteriorate quickly. So we needed to bring in a new right back, and now this guy is definitely going to be good enough as well. So we say hello to him for 23.7 million. We're also going to possibly look at a new left back, because I'm pretty sure Gramado is going to turn into a Cam. We go ahead and bring in our right midfielder, Borglish. He's going to come in from Fenerbahce for just under 16 million. He's going to compete for that starting 11 spot. Welcome into the squad, Borglish, coming in from Fenerbahce, 15.9 million. Johan Manzambi is going to come into the squad, kind of one of the hottest prospects at the moment. It seems like every time I look to do a rebuild, the club are interested in him, every single club. Arsenal, Real Madrid, hell, even Leicester City, and now Bayer Leverkusen. They are all interested in Manzambi, and so we are going to go ahead and bring him in. We are going to go ahead and say goodbye to one of the other cams in here because I was trying to do it quickly, and I just accepted it after they negotiated it. We was trying to get him for just cash, but we do go ahead and see that. And also, our manager is Rafa Benitez, if you couldn't tell. He is a manager somewhere in real life. But he comes in from Freiburg plus Maza plus 8.9 million. And so, welcome to the squad. Some more departures. Stepanov is going to be loaned out to Augsburg. We have many strikers. We have many strikers that are young and going to have great potential. And so, we're going to loan a couple of them out, if not all of them, to try and get them out and develop. Bade is off to Benfica for a season-long loan deal. Abdul Faye is off to Al Hilal for 2 years for a loan deal. Mark Flecken is off to Udinese for 5.1 million. Relacion is off to Sunderland for a season-long loan. Again, just loaning out these youth once again. We have a new center back to join our squad now as well. Arthur Theatre is going to come into the squad for 31.8 million at 81 overall. The big forehead is going to come in and join Bayer Leverkusen's defense. And that's not the last defensive player we'll sign. Welcome into the squad. And there we go. We have our new back line. 3 new players in that starting lineup. The only one to remain is probably going to be Andrich. Actually, no, it's not. I forgot who the other center back is going to start alongside our guys. But Nathaniel Brown is going to come into the left back position. We are really risking the fact that Alejandro Gramado is going to turn into a cam and be good enough at cam, at least for a couple of seasons. As we develop like Onyenka, develop other guys as well at cam. So we go ahead and bring him in. Welcome to the squad. Welcome to Bayer Leverkusen, Nathaniel Brown. Probably our most expensively signed so far at the 48 million mark, 44 million mark. It's definitely up there. Welcome to the squad. And in fact, there is Natali leaving on loan to Watford, but it's not who we were. It's going to be Andrich, who's going to be leaving the club to Brentford for 15.5 million. We're going to go ahead and bring in a youngster, Nathan Decat, into the squad at CDM from Anderlecht for his release clause of 6.6 million, I believe it was. We are going to instantly try and loan him out. However, I am kind of ready to get this season under the way here, so we are just going to loan him out for a season or try to. We'll give it a couple of minutes before that. But other than that, the transfer is done. The squad is how it is. We have Gramado at cam, Schick at striker. We might actually need to go sign a new left midfielder because what happened to my left midfielder? Nathaniel Brown at left back, Theatre, Tapsoba, Stancic, Roos, Garcia, Palacios, and Tella in there as well. We might actually need to go sign a new left midfielder. What happened to my left? Did I sell my left midfielder? That without knowing. I think I did. Well then, we still have money to do so. That's good as well. Samuel Mbagula comes into the squad here, left midfielder, 76 overall from Werder Bremen. He's going to join the squad for less than 20 million, and that will wrap up our transfer window as in players bringing into the squad. We're going to look to loan out Nathan Decat, and we'll do a transfer round up there and go and try and climb up the season ranks. And I believe this will be Decat leaving the squad. That is not Decat. That is Patrick Schick. I was interested in selling him. I actually declined the offer from Atletico Madrid for around 60-odd million. I didn't accept no other transfer offer. There has been no other transfer offer for him. So the only thing I can think of is that if this is Patrick Schick, it's a release clause. And I'm kind of worried about what his release clause might be from just coming into the squad here. Hopefully it's at least 40 to 50, 60 million, at least his market value. I was willing to keep him for at least another season. He has gone to Crystal 91 million! 91.8 million. Patrick Schick, his release clause has been triggered. And we get 92 million nearly for it. Well then, absolutely, this player's release clause was greater than market value. I love it. Well, that thing that says Patrick Schick was approached has never been popped up. And if it was here, it had to be here, which is interesting there as well. Well then, let's go bring in another striker then, I guess. Now, I'm not going to show it because to be honest, there's just too much time. Dennis Undorf is going to come into the squad to be our #1 striker. We're loaning him in for the season from Stuttgart, so welcome in. And so this is your team to take on this season. Undorf as striker, Germado at cam, Tella, Garcia, Palacios, and Mbagla as the rest of that midfield four. Really 5 there. Nathaniel Brown, Theater, Tapsoba is the only remaining player in the back 4, back 5 that is remaining in there. Staunton that joins from Bayern Munich, and then obviously we have Eros in net. On loan, we have about half this squad. Half the 41 are probably on loan. We have Sarko on loan, Stepanov on loan, Balde on loan, who's up to 80 overall now, so that's going to be great there. Faye, Belasan, Natali, Kofane, Tape, Kwanzaa, Alpha, Decat, Onyenka, Oyerman, all on loan. So a good chunk of players on loan already. Some of them already going up +1, so hopefully they can go there. I will show you all the Champions League phase there, and then we will go from there. So I will see you on September 1st to see the Champions League opponents, and then we will see y'all after the end of that. And so the Champions League opponent for this season, we start here against Arsenal in the Champions League. And then we go over to Atalanta for our second game. We have Inter Milan in there as well. We have Olympiacos and PSG, a very tough so far fixture there. Olympiacos is probably the only easiest one there so far. We have Zagreb. And then in January, we ended off against RB Salzburg and PSV. I think this team is good enough to get top 8, but those opponents there, Inter, PSG, Arsenal, Atalanta, those are some tough opponents. Hopefully we can get a couple of results against them and get into the top 8. I will see y'all on February 1st, where hopefully we don't see a Champions League matchup here in mid-February. And, well, February 1st, you can see there, we have Champions League football in February, which is a good sign, the fact that we still have Champions League football, but it's a bad sign that we have to go through an extra round, the fake round of 16 here. We are still in the DFB Pokal, which is good to see there, so there is that. And then in January, just to look at results, we won pretty much every game besides the 2 there against Mons, and then we lost against Bayern Munich. As far as the league goes, I actually don't know at all. I haven't looked. I was actually away. In the Bundesliga, we sit second in the Bundesliga, of course, to Bayern Munich, who's currently doing another invincible run at the moment, 54 points in. Well, we're 10 points behind them. So there is that. Top goal scorer, Harry Kane, 15 goals for him. Matanovic is there as well. So yeah, we are in January. We have some things doing. Our top goal scorer is Undorf, who has 15 goals. Germado has 9. Garcia has 6. Mbagla has 6 as well. Couple players, I mean, these players are growing on loan, which is what we love to see there. But other than that, we are going to see y'all in the Champions League here against Aston Villa. And actually, we'll just might as well just talk over the DFB Pokal here as well. And as soon as I talk about it, we do lose it. So we are out of the DFB Pokal. Champions League here. Aston Villa, we lose 1-0 in the first leg. Second leg here against Aston Villa. Can we turn things around? The thing is, we do turn things around here. 2-0 in a day. 2-1 on aggregate. And we are into the round of 16, the proper round of 16 of the Champions League. And so something I actually didn't really check on was where we finished in the Champions League. And, well, they finished 17th. So we scraped into the Champions League by that with 2 wins, 4 draws, and 2 losses. Now, in the playoffs, some teams that were in there, I just seen Arsenal was in there. Liverpool are through. Leipzig take down Juventus. Club Brugge took down Benfica. Dortmund with a 9-goal thriller there on aggregate takes down Ajax. We take down Villa. PSV take down Galatasaray. Atletico Madrid are out to Salzburg. Arsenal hammer Lille 7-3. In the round of 16, we have Inter Milan. I do know that. Club Brugge had Fenerbahce. Dortmund have Monaco. We have Inter Milan. Leipzig versus PSG. Liverpool versus Barcelona. PSV versus AC Milan. Salzburg versus City. Arsenal versus Real Madrid. And so Inter Milan in the Champions League, first leg here, and it's going to be a 2-2 draw. Union Berlin, a 3-3 draw there against Union Berlin here. I just don't ever think we're going to take care. But second leg here against Inter Milan, it was 2-2, and it's a 3-2 win on aggregate. So a 1-0 win on the day, and went to the Champions League quarterfinals, where you can see there, it's already been drawn. We're taking on PSG in the quarterfinals. And so the round 16 fixtures went like this. Fenerbahce won on penalties there 4-2. AS Monaco take down Dortmund. We take down Inter. PSG scraped by Leipzig. Liverpool take down Barcelona. Milan take down PSV. Man City scraped by Salzburg, and Arsenal scraped by Real Madrid. Leverkusen versus PSG. Arsenal versus City. Liverpool versus Milan. Fenerbahce versus AS Monaco. Leverkusen versus PSG in the Champions League quarterfinal, a 4-1 loss, and that is our Champions League journey all but over. Second leg here against Leverkusen, we need a miracle. We don't get it. We lose 4-2 on that day, or 3-2 on that day, so it was actually close on that day. But 7-3 on aggregate, we are out of the Champions League here. We just got to make sure we finish in top 4. And to be fair, Bayern Munich did start throwing it away, but then we threw it away there, and we finished second, back to second place in the Bundesliga, so we're comfortably in the Champions League for next season, which we love to see there. Let's see, top goal scorer, Undav had 31 goals, 23 in the Bundesliga, and Bagla and Gramado both had 11 goals, so the goals have all been to Undav there. As far as our loanees, a couple players have grown, but maybe not grown nicely enough. On to season 3, where hopefully we have a decent chunk of money again. We have 104 million in the budget right now. Hopefully some of that carries over. And the first, and probably to be fair, only few signs we make is Yana Diomande. He comes into the squad for just 100 million. Welcome to the squad. Welcome from RB Leipzig. We have a brand new right midfielder. Nathan Tella has been sold to Leipzig, so we could have just probably swapped him and saved a few quid, but it is what it is. And Boniface, Gramado, and Bagla, Palacios, Garcia, Diomande. It's the same kind of starting lineup there that I'm just, to be honest, fine with keeping. In all honesty, this is a good enough team. It just needs to get the job done, and well, hopefully it does get the job done. I will see you on September to see this season's Champions League elite phase opponents and go from there. And so Champions League opponents are this: Lazio, we get PSG again, Juventus, we have Dynamo Zagreb again, we have Arsenal again, December we have AS Monaco, and then in January we have Viking and AEK Athens. So again, see you on February 1st, where this time, hopefully we don't have Champions League opponents there once again. Fenerbahce in the Champions League playoffs, unfortunately. There, we're in the DFB Pokal, though, third round. Bundesliga, we sit second in the league, but this time not to Bayern Munich, who's having a woeful season at the moment. We are sitting second behind Borussia Dortmund, only 1 point behind them, so we are still in the title race. In the Champions League, where did we finish? Finished 19th, 3 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses. What I did see is, the only thing I did see is that we lost to Arsenal 4-2. That is about the only result in the Champions League I seen there, but they're in the playoffs as well, so we do have Fenerbahce here. We should be able to take care of business against them, so let's take care of business against them. Fenerbahce against Leverkusen, surely we take care. We don't. 2-1 loss there. Oh, title game here against Borussia Dortmund, a 1-1 draw. And now we need to turn around here against Fenerbahce here in the Champions League. We do win 3-1 on the day, which is a 4-3 win on aggregate. So we scrape by Fenerbahce and into Champions League round of 16. Champions League round of 16 matchups are this: AS Monaco take on Galatasaray, Liverpool take on Chelsea, PSG versus AC Milan, Bayern Munich versus Leipzig. We are taking, or not we are, Arsenal, Man City, Porto versus Barcelona, Juventus versus Dortmund. We are taking on Real Madrid in the Champions League round of 16. And so the first leg here against Bayer Leverkusen, against Real Madrid. I keep missing whom I am. We win 3-0 against Real Madrid. A massive first leg win here, and a massive game here against Bayer Leverkusen. Not Bayer Leverkusen, against Leipzig, coming up, a 1-1 draw. Second leg here, a 1-0 win on the day, a 4-0 win on aggregate, and into the quarterfinals of the Champions League we go. And so around the 16 matchups went like this: Galatasaray got past AS Monaco, Liverpool got past Chelsea, PSG hammered AC Milan, Munich scraped by Leipzig, Man City take care of business against Arsenal, Barcelona scraped by Porto, Juventus scraped by Dortmund, and we hammered Real Madrid. Now the quarterfinals matchups are this: Bayern Munich versus PSG, this IRL semi-final, everybody's calling it the real final there. Leverkusen versus Juventus, Barcelona versus Man City, Liverpool versus Galatasaray. First leg here against Juventus at home here. Are we going to be able to take them down? A 3-2 win on the day. Gives all the room to work, though, in that second leg going over to Juventus. Can we pick a win here in the league? We do. A 2-1 win there against FCS Mines. And then second leg here against Juventus in the Champions League. Can we do it? A 6-5 on the day. Is that back-to-back 3-2 wins? I believe it is. No, that was actually a 3-3 draw, Jeremy. That's how math works. And you see there, it's Bayern Munich in the semifinals. Bayern Munich took down PSG, but we already knew they moved on because that's who we have in the semifinals. Leverkusen scraped by Juventus. Barcelona going to get past Manchester City, and then Man City get past Galatasaray. And then in the semifinals, it's an all-German battle between us and Bayern Munich, and then it's Barcelona versus Liverpool in the Champions League final. Last time we actually took on Bayern Munich here in the league, we lost 4-0. So hopefully we can avoid that hammering again and get by them. But the first leg up is here, and we get man of the match, which is a good sign. A 1-0 win on the day. But any lead, if it's not a 4-0 lead like they beat us, it's not a safe lead against Bayern Munich, especially when we have to go over to their stadium here in the Champions League semifinal. Are we in the final? A 2-0 win on the day? Is that so? It is. 3-0 on aggregate. And we are into the Champions League final taking on Barcelona. The question is, are we going to win the Bundesliga? Because that's what really the main rebuild is apart. And the answer, oh my God, no we're not. We bottled the rebuild. We don't bottle the rebuild. We bottled the league here. We might not even get top 4. We might not even get top 4. Dortmund are your league leaders and league winners in all honesty. Dortmund take care of business. Well, the thing is, if we don't get top 4, it's Champions League or bust rebuild. Well, a 3-2 win and a 3-1 win to close out the domestic league there. Will we have Champions League football for next season? To be honest, it doesn't really matter. The answer is yes. But the thing is, if we don't beat Barcelona, it's a failed rebuild anyway. It's this or nothing. It's Barcelona versus Bayer Leverkusen. No Grimaldo. He's out with a red card suspension. So Malik Tillman is going to have to come on for him. And somebody like, you know what, Stepanov can get in there. Champions League final, Bayer Leverkusen versus FC Barcelona. Actually, don't know where I just did not see it. It'll be somewhere. No shit, it'll be somewhere. I don't know where. I can't really recognize that stadium in the background. That might just be a Stadium Olympic, a generic stadium there. But here we go, Champions League final. Nathaniel Brown, Tillman, Alex Garcia, Victor Boniface now. Boniface, can you find Diamande? He does that wide. Yan Diamande finds Sace. Rafinha now. Rafinha, De Jong, Rafinha, Fermin, Ekitike. Barcelona strike first. 28 minutes. Hugo Ekitike has his 4th goal in the Champions League. Tillman. Malik Tillman stopped by Ronald Araujo and no foul called there. Rafinha, Ekitike, Theata, Fermin, saved by Roos, cleared away by defenders. Barcelona trying to get that second, but we're trying to crawl back into here. Lamine Yamal now before the break here, trying to double the lead here. Lamine Yamal now. Lamine Yamal, still Lamine Yamal, still Lamine Yamal. Cross comes in. Fermin, straight to the keeper. Halftime 1-0 down here to Barcelona. Fermin, Lamine Yamal, this will write it all off here. He tries to go to Ekitike. Taps over, intercepts it. We're able to deal with it. Angola now. Angola now down left hand side. Angola into Tillman. Malik Tillman into Garcia, and Alex Garcia now. What can he do? Out wide for Yandio. Diomande now. Cross comes in. It's headed away by Pedri. Second ball. Saves, clears it. Tillman, can you win it? Yes and no. It falls to Palacios. And Ezekiel Palacios now. What can he do? He finds Nathaniel Brown. Have a hit, son. Boniface hits it instead and off target. Our most clear-cut chance we had the entirety of the game here. And Lewis Skelly now coming on for Barcelona. 4 minutes left to go to try and crawl back and get an equalizer here. It's Manzambi out wide for Angola now. What can he do with the ball? Mangula, Victor Boniface, he turns, he spins, he shoots off the crossbar. That was it. Yan Diamande gets it back though. Garcia, Diamande, Victor Boniface stopped by Araujo. Plus 1 minute. You have to win the header. He doesn't. Referee, keep your whistle in your hands. Manzambi now. Can you find Yandy Amande? Manzambi, what are you going to do with the ball? Manzambi loses it to De Jong, and we lose the Champions League final. Barcelona win the Champions League final, and for the first time since 01-02, it is another runner-up here. When this is the first time since 01-02 when Bayer Leverkusen came up to Real Madrid and came running up there. So runners up to Spain for the second time now. And well then, that'll be the end of this video. Kind of a failed rebuild, but I'll see y'all for the next one. Until then, leave a like, subscribe, peace out.